Unfortunately, we don't always have a say in how our tax dollars are spent, and like it or not, your money may be helping people who don't really need the assistance.
One program in particular is to help DWI offenders help pay for their ignition interlocks. Tonight we exposed the DWI Indigent Fund. Target 7 investigator Melissa Vega uncovers the fund is running dry, and that means you, the taxpayer, is on the hook, stuck paying for interlock systems, even if the offenders have the money.
Gene Gannett owns a interlock. His clients are convicted DWI offenders who by law are required to put an interlock system in their vehicle.
What we've noticed is that more and more clients have become indigent.
Now those on the indigent fund don't have to pay the state-mandated $100 initial interlock setup fee. Taxpayers also pay for half of the monthly interlock monitoring charges. And when it's time for the interlock to be taken out of the vehicle, well, you pick up the tab for that too. So how did the fund start up in the first place? It was set up over 6 years ago by the New Mexico Senate.
The Senate felt at the time like we needed some vehicle for people that couldn't afford an interlock because it's a costly endeavor.
The New Mexico Department of Transportation Traffic Safety Bureau oversees the program, but the courts, a parole board, or a probation and parole officer has the authority to determine whether or not someone is eligible for assistance.
For several years, the Ignition Interlock Indigent Fund wasn't even used. Judges really didn't know it existed. The offenders didn't know it existed.
But that's all changed.
We were running $1 million balance for a long time. Then all of a sudden everybody caught on to this thing and boom, it's going to be broke soon.
The state's Traffic Safety Bureau says in 2005, 839 people were on the indigent fund. Now it's climbed to over 3,600.
Now all of a sudden that people have kind of caught on to the fact that it's there, there's some abuses taking place.
A interlock owner Gannett and his manager, Jim Burton, say the kind of vehicles they're installing indigent interlocks on make them question the offender's real financial need.
I've seen them on BMWs, Mercedes-Benzes, on all the high-line cars just about.
Including this Hummer. We confronted the driver of this expensive SUV to find out why he was tapping into the state fund. He says the Hummer isn't his.
I wish that was mine, but unfortunately it's not. But mine is the motor's blown in my car, so my father was nice enough to let me drive that. So
this woman, who doesn't want to be identified, is also on the indigent fund. She says it was easy to get on state assistance. All she had to do was ask the court.
I got it the same day. They didn't ask. I thought they were going to check my pay stubs and stuff, but they didn't. They just gave it to me.
Senator Craven says that's the problem.
The judges have responsibility to sort of determine indigency, and I don't think that they're really they probably just don't have the staff to be able to look into everybody's history and finances and really determine if they're indigent or not.
Craven says he would like to see the DWI Indigent Fund taken out of the court system.
I believe MVD would do a really good job at managing this program. So that's another legislative session.
For now, a special task force that Senator Craven's is a part of has been set up to review the DWI program, including the Indigent Fund.
I'm glad that some light is being shown on this because we can correct it quickly, I think.
Reporting for Target 7, I'm Melissa Vega.
Throughout the investigation, we have not been able to determine a state-mandated checklist of guidelines one must fall under in order to get on the DWI Indigent Fund. Now, Metro Court does say they have a strict standard adopted by the Public Defender's Department. The Public Defender's Office does have eligibility requirements, and the task force is scheduled to meet next month. We, of course, will let you know what happens.